Hello and welcome back to Planet Stronghold Colonial Defence. You will find the hangars rather empty. Most of our vehicles are currently being used in rescue and restoration efforts. We haven't found the presence of other Matrix, however I'd like to keep some patrols just in case we miss something. As Mitsuki said, we shouldn't just rely on our sensors. Make it so. At the moment, the debris has been piled outside the colony. We'll have a lot to move it once the city is more secure. However, we can reuse a lot of it. What's more worrying are the Borer Grub tunnels. I can foresee a dozen dangers just waiting to rise up. Indeed, they're like a direct line to our jugular. Not to mention being concerned about the mole people. Mole people? More aliens to worry about? No, just a reference to one of Griselia's hobbies. She's a fan of old sci-fi. Still, horrors from underneath is a valid concern. Already on it. Our patrols are keeping a close eye on those entrances as well. Thankfully, there weren't many Borer Grubs. Otherwise, we'd all be eating dirt. Couldn't we fill those tunnels with the debris? We could do that, but it'd be a temporary fix. You really don't want to rebuild a colony on such a loose foundation. Don't come a-knocking when the buildings are a-rocking. You know, that isn't a bad idea. We could make a fortune with such a place. As I was going to say, most of the buildings have suffered some structural damage. Some can be repaired, but others will have to be demolished entirely. And I surmise the buildings are going to remain empty until we can assure their safety? Correct. Where will the people live? Do we have enough space? We can construct some temporary structures. Wouldn't want to be there long term, but it can suffice. Speaking of the people, how are they doing? As you might expect, morale is low. Well, we didn't keep the Matrix out. This is understandable. Their safety is one of our responsibilities. Not to mention, many will be afflicted with mental trauma in the days to come. Their fear, their anger, are suffocating. I almost hesitate to ask if there's any good news. Our greenhouse and storehouses emerge mostly unharmed, so starvation won't be a concern. Thank goodness for small favours. However, there is another matter I must mention. A good number of civilians are missing. Do we know what happened to them? Buried in rubble or taken by Matrix? Neither. While the fighting was going on, they fled from the city. Unfortunately, from the direction they went, this brought them close to Drayden territory. And the Draydens don't like trespassers. As grim as things are, they could be much worse. We'll rescue the colonists, hopefully before the next supply ship arrives. I wouldn't count on it. Who are you? Lola Fox, Solarian News Network. I was here on assignment when your little party broke out. What are you doing in my colony? Do you even have permission? And what was that crack about the supply ship? One of the benefits of being an embedded reporter, barring something top secret, I'm allowed to go where I want. I have authenticated Miss Fox's credentials. She has permission to go where she will, barring the top secret areas. Looks like someone curried noble favour. And while you were attending to your little dust-up, the Empire was facing an attack near Alpha Centauri. So we're on our own. Perfect. How do you think I feel? I'm stuck here until I can free some ships to come this way. Wouldn't be the first time my command was on its own. And it isn't like I can't handle it. Still, what should be our next course of action? If it were up to me, I'd make a solid start on the colony. So much is destroyed, we're sitting ducks if some force decides to finish what the Matrix started. I disagree. I think we should go retrieve our people. You don't leave anyone behind, civilian or military. And if we save them, it'll raise morale, be a great help in restoring the colony. I have to agree with Mario on this. Even if we don't face a concerted foe, we are still vulnerable to other predators. Yes, but if the people haven't gone far, we should go with Charlotte's suggestion. I can be there and back before anyone knows it. Or we could do both at once. I will... Captains, we've just re-established contact with High Command. They wish to speak to either one of you. Immediately. Did they say why? No, but voice analysis indicates it is quite urgent. I'll deal with the top brass. You attend to matters at hand, Diana. No sense both of us getting our asses reamed. Now and you'll be able to create your own deck for most of the missions. Of course, there are still restrictions based on the hero currently continuing mission and card rarity. For the 10th mission, you'll be able to choose from any hero for battles. Okay. Alright, our next course of action would be... My argument here is that There is an argument to say dig in, defend what you have, build up some defences and then go and rescue people, but let's face it, if they're out there on their own, they're going to die. So we've got to go on the rescue. I don't know how to express my gratitude, Captain, but the people will remember how you put them first. Mission 6. Near Drayden area. I hope I'm not overstepping my bounds, but I wanted to thank you for following my suggestion. I couldn't ignore your heartfelt appeal, although I must warn you, just because it resonated with me doesn't mean that I would make the same suggestion in the future. I know the others may consider me flighty, however I didn't suggest this course of action on a mere whim. You've always put others ahead of yourself. Just be aware, we'll be hard-pressed to keep them safe after we return home. I admit, I had other reason for pushing this so hard. The displaced are heading towards territory claimed by the Apex Ran. Great, considering we already fought them once already. Exactly. Samuel or Gracilia could probably give you a better idea of how the Apex will react, but I don't think it'll be pleasant. Well, if they were swarming it out, we'd find little other than bones. Not that Apex Ran are known for respecting boundaries. Typo there, incidentally. I'm more worried about our people heading towards the Plateau of Harvest. Plateau of Harvest? Before we founded our colony here, the area was contested by the Apex Ran and the Madrons. There was a great battle, one which the Apex Ran won with a number of Madron captives. Considering the name, it was probably a bad day to be a Maradon. No, it wasn't. It is said, though, for when the cactus bloomed early in the spring, it was quite pretty. True beauty comes from great sacrifice. Old Apex Ran saying, apparently. Naturally, whose sacrifice is up for debate. Are the Apex Ran truly so intractable? My only experience with them has been in combat, I really don't know. Maybe if we're lucky, we can find the refugees and get back before the Apex Ran know we're here. Hope all you want, but it looks like we have company. Look, in the distance. And the Apex Ran aren't alone. Look up in the sky, blood-eyed and silver-winged. Orbis, spying on us no doubt. And let's poke him in the eye. As you near the battlefield, a singular figure approaches, and there is a large smile on his face. We meet once again, humans. Don't you think this is a pleasant day for a battle? Certainly, especially after I bathe in your blood. I like you. Tell you what, after I enthrall you, I'll keep your redhead concubine. Concubine? Oh, let's kick his ass, Captain. So, yes, I've now got some marksman teams. Okay, so what don't I need? I don't need all these automated repair devices. They're useful in long engagements. That's about it. Plus to attack permanently is very handy. So let's take out a... No, not what I wanted to do. Actually, I've got 5 stars at this point. I feel like I should be upgrading something. Nope. Okay, +1 attack, +1 health, plus they gain +1 to attack at the start of each thing. So they can theoretically, if I get that, get 6 attack a turn, which is not inconsiderable. So I think I'm going to spend that. I think that's worth it. And I think I will finish upgrading the spiked iron vines. Take out a wall card, put in an assault card. Just the one, I think. So, okay. Let's finish that. Oh, I can only have 20 cards in the deck for this mission. That's annoying. Alright, let's take out that. I don't need the scouts. Don't need the recruit cards because I never use those. I can take out that assault card. It's potentially useful, but not massively. Take out the wall cards. Take out one of the take covers. Yeah, right. That'll do. That gets me down to the maximum for this mission. Okay, so let's deploy the spiked iron. Mainly that limits what I can do, but okay. Watch out! The orbits have the anti-organic trait, which means they'll do double damage against your organic units. Charlotte's spiked war could come in handy in this battle. Yep, which is what it just did. Okay, deploy a sharpshooter. Deploy another sharpshooter. Oh dear. Oh good lord, that hurt. Unfortunately, all those cards are useless. Okay, let's get that up there. Let's get that up there. Okay. Okay. Marksman team are potentially very good. But I can deploy a battle drone, and I can deploy the marksman team. Okay, good. Now, you infantrymen, target that thing and kill it. Sharpshooters are very good units. Kill that one. End the turn. Okay, you're now slightly more powerful than you were. Okay, kill that one. Take cover on you.
Take cover!
Then you snipe him. You're protected this turn. End the turn. Excellent. Deploy the regular infantry. You are getting very powerful. Anyone who's left over... Okay, so it's... See, I'm still remembering which way around health and damage is. Okay. Nobody... You're the only one who can survive a hit from that thing, but I think I can afford to lose a regular infantryman. Okay. Get the laser turret up. Everyone... fire as one. Especially you, because you're doing a lot of damage. Okay, another marksman team in there. Everyone fire on the primary threat, and we're good. Okay. I've underestimated you twice now, and much to my detriment. There is more to you than meets the eye. Face us in battle once more, and you'll see how strong we truly are. This is far from our last meeting. But until then, take care. I don't want some other lesser alien taking your head. There is something poetic about the apex Ran. Wander in the plateau of harvest without blood. Maybe something will grow water in the plateau of harvest without blood. Maybe something will grow from it. But it wouldn't surprise me if nothing but weeds grew. Scene 6, the briefing room. So I'm assuming we managed to recover the people we went for. Looks like your gamble paid off this time. But just remember, the best course of action may be to cut everything else loose until you've secured your position. Anything happened while I was gone? The usual. Getting yelled at by the higher-ups who have no idea what the hell's actually going on here. I can't say that was unexpected. If bluster could be bottled, they'd be rich. So what did our superiors have to say? Whatever it was, the captain was in there a long time. Even time to hit the bar and back. I didn't know you drank. Not often. Certainly not that rot gut you make in your spare time. But after the events of the last few days, though... I apologise, dear. There were so many wounded. I even used your headache allotment. Not to mention we had to synthesize compounds from the native cactus as well. I'm surprised with an increase in reports of unknown flying objects. Funny, I never thought the old flying saucer stories might be a bad masculine trip. Roswell was located in the desert. Might be worth digging into. Well, after that interesting theory about one of the biggest conspiracies ever, which, incidentally, there was no alien spaceship at Roswell, in my opinion anyway, because I agree with Stephen Hawking. If the government is covering up evidence of alien life, they're doing a much better job of it than they are of everything else. But that's a good point to end this part, so thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next.